What if I told you there's a Slingshot build in Block Tales that can consistently deal 11 to 12 damage and completely bypasses enemy defense mechanics that stop other builds cold? While most players dismiss the Slingshot as the weakest weapon in the game, I've analyzed the mathematical optimization that transforms it into a defense-shredding powerhouse. In this video, I'm going to expose the exact Slingshot build that mathematically dominates armored enemies, reveal the specific card combinations that create devastating 11 to 12 damage output while ignoring traditional weaknesses, and show you the advanced power shot mechanics that make this the ultimate anti-defense strategy in Block Tales, including how it deals 10 damage even against heavily shielded enemies. But first, let me show you why the Slingshot is universally underestimated by competitive players. Most people see the weapon dealing 1 damage per pellet with no defense penetration, and immediately write it off as completely inferior to sword and ball builds. After analyzing the mathematical potential hidden within Slingshot mechanics and card synergies, I discovered that everyone's been approaching this weapon completely wrong. The key isn't trying to match raw damage, it's exploiting unique advantages that no other weapon can replicate against specific enemy types. Here's what makes this build absolutely game-changing when you analyze the core mechanics and optimization potential. The foundation consists of 8 essential cards that create multiplicative damage, scaling through calculated synergies. Power shot cards are the crucial optimization element most players miss entirely. 2 power shot cards convert all Slingshot pellet damage into a single concentrated attack, allowing it to bypass defense completely while combining all individual pellet damage into one devastating hit. Night cards provide the backbone damage multiplication. 4 night cards increase sword slot damage by 4, and since Slingshot replaces the sword slot, these bonuses apply directly to Slingshot base damage. This creates a +4 damage foundation before any other multipliers. Charge cards apply attack up level 2 for massive damage scaling. 3 charge cards create attack up level 6, adding +6 damage to your attack. Combined with the Night Foundation, this creates substantial base damage before other modifiers. Power Rush provides +1 attack when HP drops to 25% or below. With Slingshot's multiplicative scaling, every single damage point becomes exponentially more valuable than on other weapons. Anti-Up adds +1 damage to all attacks, but creates the familiar 50% action window reduction with 0 damage. This high-risk, high-reward mechanism separates skilled players from casual users. The mathematical progression transforms Slingshot from multiple 1-damage pellets into a concentrated 11 to 12 damage attack that bypasses all defense mechanics. But here's where the calculations become absolutely devastating. Let me break down the exact mathematical formula that produces this build's revolutionary anti-armor capabilities. When you run the optimization calculations, the defense penetration advantage is staggering. Base Slingshot mechanics fire multiple pellets based on charge level, up to 5 pellets with Iron Sword upgrade. Each pellet normally deals 1 damage, but can't penetrate defense at all. This makes basic Slingshot completely useless against armored enemies. Power shot cards fundamentally transform this weakness into the weapon's greatest strength. Instead of 5 separate 1-damage hits that bounce off armor, Power Shot combines them into one 5-damage attack that penetrates defense completely. Night cards boost this combined damage significantly. 4 night cards add +4 to the base combined damage, creating 9 damage before other multipliers. 3 charge cards add attack up level 6 for +6 more damage, reaching 15 damage potential. Power Rush, when HP is low, adds +1, bringing the theoretical maximum to 16 damage. Anti-Up provides +1 more for 17 damage potential under perfect conditions. However, realistic combat scenarios with proper optimization yield consistent 11 to 12 damage output that completely ignores enemy defense values. Against enemies with 3+ defense that stop other builds entirely, this Slingshot build maintains full damage effectiveness. The free ice interaction creates additional tactical advantages. Since Power Shot converts multiple pellets into one attack, free ice applies frozen with much higher success rates compared to individual pellet attempts. This mathematical transformation turns the worst weapon into the ultimate anti-defense specialist. The real optimization comes from understanding the advanced tactical applications. After testing every possible combat scenario, the Slingshot build offers strategic advantages that become exponentially more valuable as enemy armor increases throughout game progression. Target selection capabilities provide tactical flexibility no other weapon can match. While sword attacks can only hit the frontmost enemy, Slingshot builds can target any enemy position, including backline threats that hide behind armored tanks. Defense immunity scaling creates scenarios where Slingshot builds excel exponentially. Against enemies with 1 to 2 defense, other builds remain competitive. Against enemies with 3+ defense, Slingshot builds maintain full effectiveness, while other weapons become severely handicapped. The power shot concentration mechanic eliminates the traditional Slingshot weakness against armored enemies while preserving all the weapon's natural advantages. You maintain target selection, range capabilities, and consistent damage output without the defense vulnerability. It's a fact that action command optimization synergizes perfectly with anti-up requirements. Slingshot timing involves rapid button presses rather than precise windows, making it more forgiving for players adapting to anti-up's reduced timing requirements. SP cost efficiency analysis reveals Slingshot builds achieve superior damage per resource ratios against armored targets. While other builds require expensive armor penetration cards, Slingshot builds solve defense through weapon mechanics rather than additional card investment. Resource allocation flexibility allows hybrid utility integration. Since the core damage comes from weapon mechanics and basic cards, you have BP available for utility cards, defensive options, or status effect applications. But there's an advanced optimization technique that pushes this build into completely broken territory. When you analyze the deeper mechanical interactions, there are optimization strategies that transform Slingshot builds from good into completely dominant against specific enemy archetypes. Power rush timing becomes a calculated armor-breaking strategy. Maintaining 25% HP or below provides sustained +1 damage that becomes increasingly valuable as baseline damage increases. The risk-reward calculation strongly favors skilled players against heavily armored targets. Free ice optimization creates guaranteed crowd control against defense-heavy enemies. Since Power Shot converts multiple attempts into one concentrated attack, free ice applications have much higher success rates. This allows you to freeze dangerous armored threats while dealing full damage simultaneously. Night card stacking creates exponential scaling advantages. Each additional night card provides +1 damage that applies to the final concentrated attack. This creates linear damage increases that become multiplicatively powerful when combined with charge buffs. Anti-up integration with Slingshot mechanics creates what I call precision concentration scaling. The rapid press action command requirement trains mechanical consistency that translates to higher anti-up success rates across all weapons. Charge card timing optimization requires strategic SP management similar to other builds, but the payoff becomes exponentially more valuable against armored enemies where other builds fail completely. The meta positioning analysis reveals where this build completely dominates competitive scenarios. When you compare this optimized Slingshot build against established meta strategies using armor scaling analysis, it achieves complete superiority in scenarios where traditional builds become ineffective. The scaling analysis proves Slingshot builds become exponentially more valuable as game difficulty increases. The analysis proves this Slingshot build transforms a universally dismissed weapon into the ultimate anti-armor specialist, but implementation requires understanding precise card interactions and avoiding critical optimization mistakes that'll waste your entire build investment. If you want the complete specialization guide with exact mechanical breakdowns and advanced tactical applications, check out my Block Tales deep dive playlist, where I analyze every overlooked aspect of competitive gameplay, from underestimated weapon potential to advanced counter-meta strategies that most players never discover.